Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Saturday, March 8th. And you know what that means? It's the weekend, right? So I thought I'd kind of do a little bit of everything, but mainly to let people know what the channel's about. And what is the channel about? It's about everyday life, it's about having a sense of humor, it's about being yourself and not trying to fit somebody else's mold. During the weekday, we try to stay on point on business and things that will help. But even then, if you look at it, it still isn't strictly business because a lot of the advice I give, I'm taking. But I'm also, if you look at it, you can change it up to how to better yourself instead of just trying to better a business, right? But that's Monday through Friday. That's the weekday. And then on the weekends, I kind of go off the rail, and that is more geared towards personal development and trying to help you and me become the best that we can be and be ourselves and be around people. So stay tuned. Alrighty, so welcome back. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekend. Today is Saturday, March 8th, 2025. And why do I keep putting the date and the year in? I want people to know that we have a video out every day. And it's something different. It's something hopefully unique. And it's something that you have can get value out of. Even if it's a small amount, hopefully it's helping just one person. If it helps one person, my time has been well spent. So, what are we actually talking about today? Well, it's kind of like an introduction to what the channel is all about. And what do we talk about here? We talk about during the week how to start a business, how to take over a business, partnerships, sole proprietorships, getting customers, getting leads, helping each other out in business. But it's also about having a good sense of humor and laughing and being able to just be yourself with others and not worry about somebody singling you out and making you feel like an ass or a fool. We just don't do that here. And every so often you'll hear me say, even during the weekday where it's business, the only stupid question is the one that's not asked. If one of you have a question about anything that I've talked about or maybe not talked about, ask, because good chances are is if you're wondering it, there's going to be more than just you that are wondering the same thing. And I won't know unless you say something. And the great thing about this channel is it's not all about me. This channel is all about you. I may be the one that's the hostess or the host, and the one that rambles on for 20 minutes to half an hour every day. But it's really about you guys. It's the camaraderie that I feel with each and every one of you. And the friendships that I've developed. And I watch many of you give good, great sound advice. And you're not making fun of somebody for a question that may seem simple to all of us, the rest of us. It may be a question that I had thought about years ago when I was first starting up that you're just thinking about now because you hadn't thought and got that far, right? But now you have. But we also deal with on the weekends the personal development side, because I'm a firm believer that you can't be great at everything. And it is a choice. I'm sorry. For some, they're going to say, well, I didn't have a choice. It's always a choice. You make choices every day. And if you choose the business over the family, and the business is successful, are you successful? And my answer is no. No. The family's all torn up. Your kids are screwed up, everything else. No, you're not successful. Your business may be successful, but you on a different level of being well-rounded, no, you screwed up. You took that business and put that business ahead of everything else. And I know a lot of business people are going to say, but you have to, Eric, in order to succeed. No, you don't. I'm here to tell you that too, because I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not. I chose the business over my family. And the business took off. And I was spending 16, 18-hour days on that business. That was my baby. And I watched it grow and grow and grow. But I had almost little to no relationship with my kids, my grandkids. They were growing up fast. Dad was always busy with business. He never had time to attend social events because he was busy. Sound familiar? So let me just say that I'm coming from a area of knowledge, because I did screw up. I did make a choice. I made the choice, the business over everything else. But what happens when the business isn't there? Or that it doesn't succeed? It goes up to a certain level and then it's non-existent. Where are you then? You're all by yourself with a failed business. Or maybe you sold the business. But you're still left to your own devices. And now your grandkids are working. Your kids are working, and you're trying to get together with them to do something, and they're too busy. They learn from the best. Our kids and grandkids watch us and want to be like us. And it's how we teach them, by example. And if you're teaching them the wrong example of what it is to be a dad, or a mom, that's on us, right? Why would our kids give us any time of day? We didn't them. We were too busy working. And you could be working for somebody else. It's a choice again of putting in a lot of overtime. See, I went through this when my kids were younger. And we had this thing that's built into our brain, and we're screwing the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. Is we kind of come up with this slogan of we don't want our kids to have it as bad as we did. And the thing is, we didn't have it bad, but we want to make it better for our kids of what we remember of our childhood. And we tend to overdo it, right? Bigger gifts, trying to impress. But with all those other things that you're trying to make better for your child, cost money. And what you didn't realize and what you don't realize, some do, some get it, is your parents made a choice. Do I spend more time with my kids and my wife and my husband and partner, what have you? Or do I put in all these extra hours so that they can enjoy the finer things in life? without me. Because that's the key. It's without you. Because you're putting in all those hours, all that overtime. And some of you, I know, just like I did, are and were working sometimes 2 to 3 jobs. Just so that our kids could have it better than we did. But in reality, they're not getting it as good as we had it. Because our parents were around. At least for many of us. You know, it wasn't that long ago where one was able to stay home with the kids while the other one worked. We didn't have the need for the second car or the house so big that you could rent out half of it as the motels. We didn't have to go lavish gifts for our kids. We didn't have lavish things, and the things that meant most to me were one of the cheapest things out there. And that's what I told my kids and my grandkids. You know, when it comes to like my birthday and Christmas, if you really want to impress me, because I'm a hard person to buy for, sit down and use crayons, pencils, what have you, and make me a birthday card and sign it love. Make me a Christmas card. Make me something that is you written all over it to me. That's something you can't buy. You can't. And I will savor that card for life. That's what you give someone that has it all. Give them something they don't have. And that is something of you. Now, this isn't get down on us parents or grandparents. This is just facing reality of if you want to be successful, it has to be in all of your aspects of your life, whether it be work, home, what have you. So it's just something to give thought to. So what's going on today? Well, Claude and I were going to a auction where a butchering company is going out of business. And some of you know that we, for our own freezers and my kids' freezers and stuff like that, we do all of our own butchering. If I'm selling it to an individual, then we ship it to a butcher shop, and everything is vacuum sealed and labeled, and it's whatever that person wants and how they want it, and have that butcher cut it to their specs so that there's no on my end of you made it too big or too small or what have you. But we're going, hopefully we aren't going to buy anything, but I'm just going to see what it'd be nice to have a bigger meat grinder, because what we end up doing is having 2 grinders going at the same time, the smaller ones. And most of the hamburger you should double grind to get a better consistency. And that takes a long time at the house or at the shop, because we let them hang for 10 to 12 days. And then I myself can usually knock out half a cow in a day's time by myself, boning it out, what have you. So we're doing that. We're delivering a tractor back to a customer and picking up another one from that location to bring back to work on. But other than that, it's going to be somewhat of a quiet weekend. There's not a lot going on. And hopefully things are going to start turning. We had a couple nice days that were up in the upper 40s that are signaling summer's coming. Spring is coming. And the other thing that you don't want to forget is tonight you need to move your clocks ahead by an hour for tomorrow morning because spring forward, fall back. That's the way I remember it. But I've been going to bed around 6:30, so now I can say I'm going to bed at 7:30. Once we start getting into warmer weather and longer days where I'm looking at haying and doing a bunch of other stuff, I plan on staying up later. Plan on. Let's see how that goes. So on that note, you guys have a great weekend, and I'm sure I'll have something to report tomorrow on how we turned out today. And you never know on this channel, right? You guys have a great Saturday.